It's really important to understand why, how the people on the spectrum get behind in their social development, and that then leads to solutions. One of the main reasons they get behind is, sheer obliviousness. Their poor eye contact meant that they just didn't even see a lot of the facial social cues a lot of times. A lot of them, though, have good eye contact, but their sensory issues meant that they were distracted, or their lack of shared interest with other people meant that they didn't have enough social exposure. So for whatever reason, they just missed the social bus. They weren't paying attention back when this information was handed out. So the good news there is they can learn to read those notice those social cues, and start getting the information they need from that. The other struggle they have is their neurodiversity part of the autistic spectrum. They're not going to want to go to rock concerts, most likely. I mean, I can't imagine enjoying one. Oftentimes the very social venues stimulate their sensory issues, so that can be a barrier. And then I've already mentioned the lack of shared interests. How do you make friends with people if no one shares your interests? And then when they go to get a help from somebody else, then it's important to understand what struggle that person has in teaching them. One of the ways I know how to teach somebody something is I remember how it was taught to me. Unfortunately, a lot of this learning happened at the same stage. We talked about social context. Great example is, do you really remember when you learned not to pee or poo unless it was in the social context of the bathroom? And that's the age where they're picking up on the social pressure to pick particular interests over other particular interests. So neurotypical individual, somebody who's not on the spectrum or has great social skills, they don't remember learning it, and they struggle. They can use it, but they really struggle to verbalize both the social cue and the social context, even though they sometimes can tell you the rule that you're breaking.